It's Tuesday, it's 3 o'clock, that means it's Tech Tuesday. Today I'm going to be talking about set-top box diagnostics. I'll be right back. Thanks for joining me. I'm Rick Uzzi here with Z-Quorum, here for Tech Tuesday. This is something that I do every Tuesday on various topics. And today I'm going to be talking about set-top box diagnostics, which is something that can be helpful if you've got a device in the home and you can get certain information from that device. It's helpful when you're trying to troubleshoot an issue. And our TruVision software normally is, people are familiar with that with cable modems or on the fiber side with an ONT and an OLT, you know, the CMTS on the cable modem side. But we do have a feature under CentraVizion, which is what TruVision is also under, called SetTop VU. So I was going to show that today. May not be familiar to some of you if you're TruVision users, or some of you that are just joining us, so we'll be going through that. So again, SetTop VU is a module under CentraVision. CentraVision is the centralized application. Under that we have TruVision and its various features for cable modem diagnostics, fiber to the home with the ONT, and we also have added to that a module called SetTop VU, so we'll take a look at that. So here's what the main screen looks like if you go in and you query a customer or you pull up a set-top box within the application. And you can see it up here, by the way, that you know, this is CentraVision, and then we've got, in this particular customer, we've got two licensed modules in here. We've got TruVision and we've got SetTop VU, so that just shows me that they've got both of those applications. And I'm looking at a set-top box here, and what I can see, if you're a TruVision user, it looks similar in the sense of the design. You've got a set-top box, and we can see what the model is here as far as the picture and the model number. It's kind of small there. I can look at it on this monitor. The engine version, IP address, MAC address. That's the MAC address of this particular set-top box. We've got some other information like uptime, and that's in seconds. Some of these items, if we don't get it from the set-top box, we just put an NA there. For example, boot time and plant ID. We've got a channel map ID. Then there's an upstream and a downstream ID. Service group, that's a 0. I don't know if that's, again, that we're not getting that information, or that's what that service group is. We've got the heap size, which I believe is memory of some kind. It looks like it. And then we've got the applications that are loading on this box, and I think it loads in these orders. So you've got Sarah, which this particular box is a Scientific Atlanta box, I believe, and purchased later by Cisco. So this is actually Cisco's operating system for this set-top box. And we've got a couple of other apps here. One of these, I believe it's this one, I think it's this TBC here, is the firmware that actually is collecting this information. So in order to get this information off of the set-top box, this firmware has to be on there. And this is firmware that's been out for a long time, collecting diagnostics data as well as TV analytics data, which I'll show here at the end of this. So that is something that loads as well. And as far as compatibility with this, this is really aimed at legacy set-top boxes. So these older set-top boxes, and I say older and legacy as it sounds pejorative, but there's lots of those boxes out there. So for example, we've got Cisco, we have Aris, Pace, Motorola, we've got the Scientific Atlanta stuff, Cisco now. So there's lots of those as far as the boxes go. So if you have your own head end, then this is something that we should be able to make work. We would just need to make sure that we get the firmware on there if it's not already on there. And the other options that a lot of operators have, especially smaller ones, would be looking at a head end in the cloud, so to speak. So if you have, I believe it's NetRacks. Now I'm spacing on the name, but it was Motorola's kind of head end in the cloud, and then Aris purchased them, and then CommScope purchased them, but that's still out there. That particular cloud in the sky kind of thing, we support that as well. And then there's HITS, which Comcast has, and that one we're still working on. So we've been trying to get with Comcast to get HITS working. So if that's the kind of situation that you're set up with HITS, that we can still get this firmware working where you can get this diagnostics information from the set-top box. So what we're looking at again is this screen where we've got this data that I was just kind of talking about. Right here you've got the tuning information on these channels. So every time, and this is for yesterday, or in this case it's the day that I took the screenshot was yesterday, but it would be the day before. So we're looking at the tuning of these channels, and then it shows you if you've got any issues. Like here we've got an SNR of 0. I think it's probably just telling me, a lot of times you'll see 0 or 99 or something like that. So I think it's probably just saying it's bad SNR here in this case. So it's going to tell you if anything was going on when that channel was tuned, which is important. And then down here you've got your out-of-band signaling, basically. So this is that small channel where you're communicating with the set-top box, and you can see if you've got any issues there. And I noticed that a lot of the devices that I'm looking at here have this. So this may be pretty common. I'm assuming we can adjust the thresholds if it's something that you just want to know, if there's a really specifically bad situation. Maybe a lot of people live with this, where it's not an issue, or maybe it's something that can be fixed. If you've got a DVR in the box, it'll tell you the free space on the hard drive, which is nice to know if you're a support person talking to somebody. And if we can get the information, it will tell you the temperature, the max temperature over a period of time, and then the overheated count, if it overheated. So there's some information that we can pull about the DVR there. Here you've got your map, like you would be familiar with in CentraVizion, for example, where you can see what's going on. In this case, it's showing you, hang on one second. I am getting a text, which usually means that there's a problem. That's interesting. That is the correct screen. Yeah, okay, so somebody told me they were just seeing the screen, and that is actually the screen that we're looking at. So I just want to she was just making sure that we didn't have any technical issues right here. So that is the correct screen. So down here, oh, I know what it is. It's probably I'm not pointing to different places, so that's probably why she was letting me know. So I wasn't on the actual screen pointing to things. So this is the information I was talking about here. We're talking about the DVR, and then the map right here. And as I'm looking at the map here, I've got my home right here, which is showing as red. There's two other set-top boxes close by. This one looks fine. And this one, I believe gray means that maybe it's not connected right now. Could be offline, turned off. Maybe the person's doesn't have it turned on. So you've got your map right there. I'll get into a couple of these other things here. For example, let me go back to here. So this is the MAC address that we're looking at right now. So if I look at this 76, this is the MAC address of this set-top box that I'm looking at. If I wanted to, I've got another set-top box right here that I can click on. And when I do, you can see this changed. This went from yellow to red right here. So I'm looking at the out-of-band right there. You can see that my channel information, everything that was tuned has changed. I don't have anything right now that is red on that I can see. I can scroll down. I can't scroll down because it's a screenshot. If I scroll down, I might see something. I forgot to do that. There might be something further down here in the day where I had an issue, but I don't see that right now. So again, if there's more than one box, you can click on it right there. Something else, actually I went back. So this screenshot is where I went back to that original box. And I was going to show what this is. So you see these other things here. So when you see this, these are parental controls. So this is nice to know also if you've had a customer, for example, that was saying they were having an issue. You can see if there's any parental control set on the device. So in this case, you can see this little icon. If I hover over it, it tells me that it's time-based. So it's a time-based parental control. And there are others that you can look at. For example, if there's a particular channel that's blocked, you can see that right there. That would glow as blue. If there is a rating, you've got a little star there, and that would appear as blue if it was blocked due to ratings. And then right here, the $sign, that would be if there was a block. For example, if there's maybe a pay TV channel, then maybe there's a block on that where somebody is not able to watch that because there's a certain dollar amount that has to be approved or something like that. So those items are there as well, again, to maybe help with some troubleshooting on the set-top box. Right here you see modem. So again, this particular customer is licensed for both CentraVizion and SetTop VU. You can get either one of those standalone. A lot of people have CentraVizion by itself. You could get SetTop VU by itself as well, or if you have both, that's really kind of helpful. So if you do, then you see here we've got our three devices. We've got a modem and two set-top boxes, and I can click on modem, and then I come to the usual CentraVizion screen for the cable modem that people are used to seeing, where you've got your cable modem information, your devices, communications right here, status, all of your RF information. So this is always good to be able to drill in here if you're having an issue on your set-top box, you might want to maybe check and see if there's anything going on in the cable line itself. You've got your upstream port that's connected to on the cable modem. And then here you can see there's more cable modem devices that are on the street. There were only a few customers that were getting video through those set-top boxes that we support, but there's more folks that have cable modems right here. So if I go back, actually I pulled up here another device. So this is a different device, as you can see. Also has an issue right here, a little bit different right here. This one does not have, it looks like, a DVR hard drive, so there's an A right there. You can see also red. There's another red device over here that would be a set-top box, a green one over here. And you can hover over these. I forgot to mention this earlier, but I showed it on this screen. You can hover over these and see what they are. In this case, it says Technicolor, but again, I believe it's this acquired Cisco box. And then you can hover over the MAC address, and it tells me right there it's Scientific Atlanta. Again, it's really a Cisco box. And then I clicked on, this one has a modem and 3 set-top boxes. I clicked on another set-top box, this CB right there, and you can see that's actually a different model. So that's the Explorer 8650, and it's got this Cisco designation right here on this MAC address. Going back to this original box, so something else that you can do here, you see that this particular one, that just seems like on this box they were just tuning to the same channel over and over again, which is interesting. Maybe it's probably MSNBC or Fox News these days. So it's somebody on one side or the other who really wants to watch the news, depending on where they stand. So I'm not sure for sure, but oh, by the way, so you can have, you see we've got a channel, we've got 2 channels. We've got the channel number, and then we've got the EIA right here, and it's got a 134. Well, if we put the information in the database, it's not in this case, but if we put the channel plan in the database, then it will show what that channel is. So if it was Fox News or MSNBC, it would show that right here. So it's a little bit easier to identify the channel that the person is watching. So I wanted to show this. So you'll see that this is a link. So I can click on this frequency. So this particular channel, 134, is at frequency 853. And I can click on that. And if I do, and if this box has, not this box, I'm sorry, what I just clicked into, I'll go back. So if this device, if the set-top box has a cable modem in the same home, then you can click on this. Because what we do is we say, well, if you're looking at 853 and it looks like there might be an issue on that channel, when you click on that, it pulls up this. And as long as that cable modem is full band capture, meaning that it can pull the downstream spectrum that's passing through it and display that, then we can show that. So you see it filled in for you, the spectrum that you want to look at, and then if you hit play, it will show you the haystacks basically for that channel. In this case, none of the devices that I looked at were full band capture. That particular device just doesn't support it, that cable modem, so I can't show that, but that's what would happen if you clicked on that right there. Another thing that you can drill in on right up here, we see it drill in a lot of times, if you click that, then you're basically going to get this set-top box channel history report. And what we're looking at here is just basically a longer history of those channels that were pulled. So, and it automatically fills in the MAC address of the set-top box that you were looking at. So that's just a shortcut to get to this information. There's actually, if you go up to reports, you see it filled that in, but if I go up to reports here, then I've got a set-top box channel history report that I can click on, and you're basically going to see the same form not filled in. So when I click on that, you see the same form, but we didn't fill in the MAC address. So this is a report where you can go, and if you have a specific MAC address, you could type it in here to pull it up, although really probably the easier thing to do is to just pull it up in the set-top box diagnostic screen that I was showing you, and then click on that, drill in, and you get there as well. But this is available from the report tab right here. Then there's also a set-top box bad SNR report, and this is going to show you any devices that did have a bad SNR reading, and when you click that, you'll get a form here that you can then just run as it is. In this case, if you want to run it and it says it's any channel and it's running for yesterday, you could look at historical, go back further, last 7 days, 30 days, or 90 days. In this case, first time I ran it, I just left it as it was and hit run, and you can see that we've got dates here, and again, this would be just 1 day, so we've got 10/11, and we've got all the issues where we had a bad SNR. And you've got the MAC address here that I can click in on. And, you know, obviously if this was, I've got the customer's name and address and city and phone obscured here, but we would see that information as well. I just didn't want to pull up something, obviously, that's on a real customer. So you've got that information. And on any of these, you can click on any of these MAC addresses to get to the device, that same screen that we were looking at earlier, and view the detailed set-top box analytics or diagnostics right there. Now, you can also change this if there's a particular channel you want to look at, let's say. You know, obviously, I can change the time or the date here, the amount of data that you pull. But I can also, right here, I can select a channel. So I can scroll down here, and let's say I want to look at channel 24. I can select that, and then I need to go over and click the Run button. And when I click the Run button, that's going to pull just channel 24. And when I pull this again, I was just looking at a day. All of the particular instances of this were one customer only. So you can see here, it looks, even though it's obscured, you can see it's basically the same data that's hidden there. There was one customer that was having problems with that channel yesterday. So that's kind of what you see on the set-top diagnostics portion of things. Now, something else that's really interesting with this is if you have this firmware on the set-top box, we can provide access to another application where you can view really detailed TV analytics, what people are watching. And in fact, that can be married with demographic data all through the same process that we can provide access to. So for example, here you're looking at just a screenshot of top programs within a target audience. You can't read a whole lot here. It's kind of hard to see on the screenshot, it's kind of blurry. But you've got that information. You can compare, you can create some custom reports to bring information up. You can compare channels and competitors, again with detailed diagnostics information, anonymized. So it's not like this is anonymized data that we can have put together on the back end. So then you can pull these detailed reports, and based on who your customers are and what they're watching, we can give you this kind of detailed analytics. So you can look at income levels, age, presence of children in the home. You can see what they're watching. Like this is a particular report just on Bravo right here, and E and MTV and VH1. You got other information right here. For example, if you were looking at Viacom as a group, you can look and see what kind of channel performance you have and which are the most popular ones right here. So this is a chart showing that. Here's one. If you want to try to, again, you can create some detailed reports and say, let me see what channels those who are HBO subscribers are also watching. It might help you if you're going to do some advertising, for example, on specific things. So you can see those who are watching HBO, most of them watch NBC as far as that, then followed by ABC and Fox and CBS. So it looks like this would be your top channels here, heading on down the line. So again, that is more information about what's available. If you have that firmware on the set-top box, we can put all of that together for you. And it's really pretty neat, especially those analytics, if you really want to dig deep into what you can do as far as, trying to figure out which channels are most important to your subscribers. If you want to target advertising at people, you can do it based on demographics. Again, it's all of that demographic stuff is anonymized, so it's not like you're going to see what your individual subscribers are watching, but you will see as a group what your subscribers are watching, which is really powerful information to have. So I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, go ahead and, if you would, just give a like on this video, and you can subscribe to our channel. Click the bell and you'll be notified at any time. If any of this was interesting, if you've got TrueVision, for example, already, CentraVision, and you want to know more about set-top box, just let us know. You can go ahead and email info@zquorum.com. I'll be happy to send that over to the right people to get in touch with you. So thanks a lot. And that's all for today for Tech Tuesday. I will see you next week at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock sharp for Tech Tuesday. See you then. Bye-bye.